All right, guys. My gosh. My gosh. I just did an hour stream with no microphone. My microphone was muted the whole time. My gosh. If only I had someone in a comment or something to tell me that. My gosh. So I'm going to try and do this down and dirty real quick again because I made a lot of good points. A lot of good points. And it's all muted. It's all muted. I sound like Frankenstein because I'm getting over being sick. So if I sound like the Undertaker on here, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see if we can do like maybe a 10, 15 minute down and dirty of the hour I just spent going over with y'all. Muted. Muted. My gosh. All right, real quick, guys. Let's get into it. Okay. So, on Twitter, I had the 69K buy based off no confirmation. I have these levels of demand marked for Bitcoin on the higher time frame. Okay. And now that you can hear me, you can take what I'm about to say and you can go back and watch the other live and you can kind of piece together what I'm saying with a little bit more context on the chart. Okay. But we had this consolidation right here. The level that broke us out of this consolidation was this weekly candle. This is where extreme institutional buying came from that pushed us finally out of this level of consolidation right here, okay? Based off that and based off never coming back to fully fill this level of inefficiency or imbalance and retest this level of demand, my thought process was, okay, this was where extreme buying happened, right? This candle came up, sold off, never broke out. Extreme levels of buying came at 68, 69K. Institutional levels of buying to absolutely catapult us out of this consolidation. Never retested it. We're going to come back again. My thinking is I'm going to go ahead and put a buy at 69K in the heart of this demand level because I'm likely not going to get some type of level of confirmation on the lower time frames if this thing comes in, wicks here, and then wants to bounce back off like we did on my next level. Okay. However, this level was incorrect. Okay. Even though we're now pushing back up to what nearly entry would have been. Okay. However, we've come back down to this next level, filled further inefficiencies, and reacted off this next higher time frame level. And this is a good level. And I mutedly talked about this in depth to myself, apparently. It's weekly. It's 5 day. It's 3 day. It's 1 day, which is this smaller box right here. Okay. So if I would have just, instead of this level, have put it in the heart of this level at 61, been sitting nice right now. Would have been sitting nice right now. Okay, I talked about to myself, I should say, on a muted mic. And I'll say it again now. How I really think this level needs to be the level that we react from. The lower time frames are starting to align with the higher time frames. Okay? We are now seeing exactly what I've talked about on Twitter with the lower time frame confirmation. Okay? I've outlined this on Twitter. We almost got it multiple times up here. What we are seeing right here, okay, where we had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. Okay. Okay. Had a range. Broke out of the range. And you look for it to come back into the range, into your level of demand or discount and react and go. But like my reasoning is that generally on these fast acting, large, dumpy moves, you don't get those picture perfect entries. It's just going to start taking off without you, which is why I had that limit order set at 69. I was planning for this type of thing, but up here, I was just a little too soon. I was just a little too soon. Okay? I was just a little too soon. But some reasoning, some higher time frame context why I think this level needs to be the level where we at least get a relief bounce. I'm not calling the bottom of whatever, bottom of whatever bear market move, whatever dumpy thing you want to call it. Okay, I'm not calling the bottom, but I think this needs to be a bottom for if we really want to see some type of relief bounce that can get us into, 80, low 80Ks. Okay. Essentially what I was hoping for with this one, right? And let's go into why real quick again, since I'm actually talking this time instead of talking to myself. Okay. One, if you look at this on a weekly basis for Bitcoin, this is the last level of imbalance or inefficiency. On a weekly outlook, everything else below this demand level is efficient. We don't have any more inefficiency until down here. So on the weekly outlook, if we were to get below 58, high 58s, that would go to say that we are on a trajectory to come down into the 40s. Okay? If this level were to not hold. Now, if I go into a 3-day chart, there is a little bit more imbalance down here. Okay? And we could get a reaction off here. But the initial reason I didn't like this level or this level is because the buying that took place originally here just sent us back into the highs of this consolidation and was denied. This just sent us back into the highs of consolidation and was denied. So that's why I didn't initially like these levels as much. Okay. Along with this, on a weekly level, again, this is our last weekly demand before an efficient range until we get down here. We are also coming in to the 200-week moving average that a lot of people like and is just going to be a natural level that people want to buy at. Right now that's sitting at 58.058 depending on your exchange, etc., etc. Okay. On top of that, total crypto market cap is at also its last level of inefficiency. Okay. Right here. And we're bouncing off of it now. It's a 3-day. And if you go back and look at the other live, I went into like the 4-hour and 8-hour. There's some tiny little ones over here. I don't know if we have huge expectations for those. Okay. So total cap on the higher time frame, Bitcoin on the higher time frame, our demand levels, moving average. The lower time frame is starting to coincide with higher time frame context via this move, okay, that we did not see this move right here. We did not see any of that all through here. None of that. Nothing in here. We almost got it. We almost got it up here. And I was posting about on Twitter. If we see this, that's what I'm looking for. If I see it, I'm seeing it here. And that's starting to align with the higher time frame context. I'm not going to get too much crazy into it because I just did this whole live stream. My voice is going really hoarse now because I just talked for an hour to myself. Gosh, I'm so mad about that. But we're coming into levels of supply here through imbalance, small imbalance, level of supply. Again, another level of supply. If you really refine this zone up here, it's right there. Okay. And you're looking for the same type of move, right? The same move that you got right here. You know, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high with a closure. You're looking to come back in. Same exact type of thing. So what you're looking for in the lower time frames here. But as I just discussed to myself on the previous live stream, it looks like this is trying to break out of this one, and I did not like this level. It looks like it still wants to go, and here we go. Here we go. Right now, it's happening. Okay. Something I talked about to my to myself on the live stream is how strong I think hype is. Hype has been extremely strong. Okay. Back on January 25th or 26th, hype ripped up. That coincides when Bitcoin on January 25th or 26th went from 86 to 90 and a half, 90.5, nearly 91. And since then it's gone from 90.5K down to sub 60K. In that same amount of time, since hype ripped, it has just been hanging out up here. Hanging out up here. It's strong. It's been strong against the market. It's been strong against Bitcoin. Typically when you see this, when the market really turns around again, these are the ones that continue to be strongest. Okay, guys? I'm not going to do the whole shebang that I just did again. I can't believe I just did the whole live talking to myself. I made a lot of good points in it, but to myself. But that is a very quick down and dirty. I'm going to call it there.